Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this Monday edition of Born to Be a Star. Oh my God, the fucking weather is crazy. Is it freezing where you are? I don't know. I'm not a winter girl. Like, skiing is fun for drinking hot cocoa and looking cute in a sweater dress with some leggings on and some Uggs. You know, picture perfect for some, I don't know, brand ambassador fun, but not really a moment of walking around unless you're gonna ski. But it's fucking cold, so you have to wear like 80 layers and shit. Like, not fun, dude. Like, not fun. I hate the fucking layers too. I'm not a fan. Is it cold where you are, or is it hot? Is it sunny? Are you at a beach? Is there sand in your toes? Are your toes painted for it? I don't even feel like I need to get like a pedicure. Like, having mixed feelings. Today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power, for you to reflect on where you've been and where you're going on your stardom journey. I had all these plans to do all this shit on Sunday that I never did. We started watching Department Q, and I just fucked off, and we watched this crazy movie called Woman in Cabin 10, which is really good on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, you need to look at it. So I guess this upcoming weekend, I'll start throwing the shit away that I hate. I said I was going to start with leggings and just go from there. And I think I'm really just going to get rid of a bunch of shit I don't need. The shoes I never wear, the clothes that I don't wear, and just start again. I'm just sick of my wardrobe. I'm sick of the shit in my walk-in closet. I'm tired of looking at it. There's some things that are fine, but the majority of it is just not my shit. And I'm over it. And I just think I want to start again. I want more pencil skirts. I want more like Netflix and chill vibe. I want more like dressy to impressy, but not like stressy. Like, and I guess the best way for me to do that is by just getting rid of everything and starting again. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. I hope that you got to spend time with family. You got to do all the things you wanted to do, and you didn't work. And if you did, hopefully you didn't work hard. I think it should be illegal to work on the weekend, and I don't ever want a job again where I have to. It's just fucking horrible. Saturdays, Sundays, that should be time where you relax and enjoy your life. So I understand why everybody wants to work in insurance or in corporate America where you don't work on the fucking weekend, and I don't blame you for that. Clearly, there's a reason why. So I just advise everybody else to join the party. Don't work in an environment where you're expected to work 100 fucking hours a week and never get a day off, because that's not work-life balance. You're going to work yourself to a fucking grave, into a room full of dead bodies called a morgue. And I know that's a dark place to start this podcast on a Monday, but I do think we all need to be working smarter, not harder. Let us get to the mantra. Today is another day, another opportunity for us to look in the mirror, reflect on where we've been, where we're going. And we're starting to love the reflection we see. We're loving who we're becoming, who we are. We're starting to be grateful for the lessons we've learned, and we take them as lessons and we move forward with them. Like, if you're a Christian like I am, you're not looking for forgiveness because you've already been forgiven. Yes, I'm already forgiven. I'm not looking to desperately seek God to forgive me, because I could fuck up and do things a million times, and I know that he would, even though it's probably like annoying. Like, it's like when you constantly ask your dad over again, dad, but I know God probably doesn't look at it that way, even if I do. I know that I'm always going to be loved by Jesus. So I asked him for forgiveness, and I asked him for patience, and he's ended up being my psychiatrist because I refused to pay one. And you can have one if you want to, but I'm not doing that shit. And I don't really think you should either. I think, honestly, if you want to talk to anybody, just talk to God. Now, you don't have to be religious. You don't have to believe in anything. Maybe if you don't want to talk to anybody, just talk to your fucking self and save yourself some goddamn money. There's that too. I mean, come on, man. Every day is another opportunity for us to start the day by looking in the mirror and saying, yes, we can have a great day. Yes, we can try something new. Yes, we can be better than we were yesterday. Yes, we can knit, sew, crochet. Yes, we can play the instrument, the flute, the cello, the violin, the guitar, the drums, the saxophone, the bass. You can dance and sing. and maybe you want to learn how to play Tetris, or you want to get better at chess. Whatever the case may be, whatever the situation is, every day is an opportunity for you to say to yourself, yes, I can. Get through difficulty and try my best to be the best version of myself. Because if you don't do that, you're always going to be on the opposing side of success. Saying no, you can't is going to lead you not to do it, right? So if you say yes, you can, then you'll be led to accomplish it and succeed at it. To beat the goals, to do the things you're supposed to do, to be on the correct side, the you completed it side. Even if it's getting in an RV and it's traveling around the world, picking a random ass place to travel to, I'd be more cautious than that with not, but it's your life. Do what makes you happy. Following the idea of yes, you can is the idea of never giving up. Now, we all know life is difficult and bad things happen to good people, but we have to find a way to get through the negativity and the bad. There are going to be people in your life that are going to debate you and discredit you and tell you you don't believe in anything or give you a difficult, hard time. That's going to happen. There's going to be doubters. There's going to be people that might think you're crazy or insane because you're questioning something or you're doing something a different way than they did it. There's going to be parents that are illogical and insane and stupid, and they're going to tell their kids. Typically, it goes like this. You should do this because I did that, or this, or that, or that, or this. And it could be from a parent. It could be from a friend. It could be from your coworker, or who knows what. You have to find a way around that. The doctor telling you, I don't know how you're going to get through this. You know, it was difficult going to that doctor that told me I was infertile. And I'm probably going to have to go back to him again because he's a part of the infertility center that I'm going to have to go through to have a baby. So I'm going to have to deal with his ass again. But I'm going to be firm in my tracks this time. I want you to find a way to help me and my husband get our child in my stomach, not anything else. So stop whatever the fuck you're doing. So I'm just going to go with that. But your parents might die. Your kid might die. Your best friend might die. Your sister or your brother might die. You might see real horror full-fledged. And it might break your heart. We've all had those times. We've all felt that pain. Something has happened to us that has changed us in a way that we weren't that way before. I know in that moment of despair where you feel lost and hopeless and like no one can hear you. You just want to crawl into a corner and just evaporate into air. But that's when you need to find your strength and your courage. That's where you need to find the person deep inside to get you out of that horrible place and find you back where you're supposed to be. Fuck what your mom said. Fuck what your dad said. Fuck the doctor that told you you couldn't have kids. Where there is a will, there is a way. And just because something didn't work doesn't mean that's the end of the story. That's the end of their story. This is your story. You get to decide which way you want to go. You get to decide what you want to do. So do it. Stop waiting for permission to live. That's the idea of never giving up. It's fighting through difficulty, because if you don't do that, then you'll never get to the good side of everything. You'll always be stuck on the bad part and the bad side of it, in the darkness. And I don't want to be in the darkness because I am the light. I want to see clearly, and I want to feel everything the way it's supposed to be felt. Good. So I laugh, I joke, I smile, and I gleam, and I live loudly. I remember those difficult times, those dark days, those horrible moments, and I let them instill a momentum in my heart, in my soul, in my mind for me to push forward, because I know if that's the only way for me to live, is to push. The doctors, the nurses, the EMTs, the firefighters, the police officers, the Army Reserve, the National Guard, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and all those that do everything to protect me and my family every day of my life. I remember them. In a family where basically every family member I know has served some way or another, especially my brothers. It's instilled this understanding of true value and worth and love in me, deep in my heart. So that when I feel like I don't know how I'm going to get to tomorrow, I make myself get to tomorrow. Because that's the only way I'm going to wake up and breathe. I can't suffocate myself, and neither can you. We have to find a way to love and promote each other in this darkness so we can see the light together. That is the idea of never giving up. It is a dark, fucked up world, but we got to be the light in it to light up the world that we're living in. Light up the world with me. Let's hold hands and let's make it a better place for us to live in. That's the idea of never giving up. That. Following the idea of never giving up, we get into the idea of why not today, because we know procrastination and indecisiveness were never our friends. Taking too long to make a decision is almost always going to backfire in our faces. Like, taking too long is the most idiotic, overdramatic bullshit we could ever do. And we shouldn't do it. So here's what we should do instead. We should push ourselves to make appointments in advance, write shit down on a calendar, organize our lives, throw out things that need to be thrown out, get things done ahead of time at work, plan proactively, plan out your vacations in advance so you're not trying to do all the last minute shit at the last minute, plan out your kids' appointments, do things in advance. When it comes back to going back to school season, get their shit months in advance and have everything ready in a closet so when they're getting ready to go back to school, it's already there and you're not waiting for anything. If you're busy during the week, use your fucking Walmart Plus membership and use DoorDash and use Uber to order some things so you don't have to go to the store if you don't have time. It might be time for you to stop going to the gym and maybe do a workout at home because you don't have time to do it. It's okay. That is the idea of why not today. We can't buy time, stop it, or control it, so we have to learn how to live in it. That's the idea of why not today. Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Quiet Place 5 should be a fucking wake-up call for us. If we continue to put our lives on a back burner, then nothing will ever get done. And that's not how we should be living. I make appointments for things all the time. Whether it's Benny going to a grooming appointment, an oil change for my car, my nails, my hair, going to the grocery store. Like, there's specific days I do shit on. Doctor's appointments, I try to either do them before work or on a day that I can take off. If we don't get things done, things won't ever get done. That is the idea of why not today. Get everything done when you can so you're not waiting to the last minute and you can't do anything. I'm not sure how AI or aliens are going to work, and I know that it's kind of idiotic, or it might sound crazy for me to bring this shit up, but don't we want to get things done when we can instead of waiting for a moment when we can't? Just a thought. But moving on from the mantra, let's get to the main part of this conversation. On this Monday, let's talk about some tea. And we are going to go Mint Majesty Venti with honey. Sipping the tea, sipping the tea, sipping the tea for you and me, sipping the tea. Oh, it's hot because it's too cold for it to be cold. So we're going to drink it hot. The first sip kind of hit the spice on the middle of the tongue, and it is good. We are going to go into the tea. So, what can we talk about on this Monday as far as tea goes? You know, there's so many different acronyms and there's so many different puns and sayings. And I do think that I want to talk about two things today on the tea that I think are very important. So I'll get to the first one first and the second one second. The first part of the tea. Children need guidance. And I think there's a problem with a lot of kids in the world where they're not being guided in the correct direction. They're being misguided and told things that don't matter, and they're not learning at a rate that they need to be learning at. If they don't understand basic language and mathematics, I'm not sure how they're going to coexist in the world. If they aren't capable or able of speaking English, let alone any other language outside of that, I'm not sure how they're going to live. We have done really a shitty job of making sure that educators are educating and they're doing things at the most basic level. Being a teacher, doing student teaching, passing all the stupid fucking tests to do it, getting a master's degree in teaching. It was a lot of things I had to learn about classrooms and children and making lesson plans, and I remember all of it like it was yesterday. And I got my master's in, I think, 2019. And it was definitely a very interesting endeavor. And the reason I turned from teaching was because God saved me. And I'm always going to be grateful that He allowed me to see the light and I got out of it. Because teaching isn't about what I thought it was. And I think that's the problem with education. And I think that's going to be the problem with children growing up. They're not being given every opportunity that they need to succeed and to drive themselves and to be capable of amazing futures. They are almost certainly being given the opportunity for failure, to become victims at a young age, and to not be held accountable of the things that they should be doing. Homework and reading should be the most important things for kids, and they're not. They're all on their fucking phones. They can't put them down. They can't comprehend things at a very basic level or have any type of like deep connected conversation. They're like all scared and fearful of everything, and they have anxiety at like the age of 8, and they need therapy and some ridiculous shit. No, they don't need any of that shit. They do need to be held responsible. They do need to be held accountable. They do need chores. They do need to be doing things in the house with their parents. And their parents need to be paying attention to them. And they need their moms and they need their dads. We need an environment where we instill in children the hard work that goes into success. And I think many nations have failed at that, especially in the United States of America. I think that we put more investment into what education looks like instead of what it actually does. I mean, not everybody needs to go to college, but if you want a good life, you do want to go. Like, everything is going to be easier for you if you have some sort of degree or you have like the skill set that's required for basic jobs. Why aren't we guiding children in the correct direction? It's not about stuff that doesn't have anything to do with education. If you can't read at grade level and you can't understand mathematical like equations in like 4th grade, there's a fucking problem. And if teachers are just moving you along because it just benefits you for your school because you care about the numbers and you don't care about the kids, then you are only allowing failure to win. These kids are going to graduate from middle school and high school and go to college and not get a job. And the only people we have to blame for that is the people in charge of these education systems. It's not about you, it's about these kids. They need to be given the tools that they need to succeed. Reading is important. They need to understand comprehension at a very high level very early on, and they need to understand basic 3rd grade math to a fucking T. They need to be ready to be pushed, right? That was the idea of advanced placement. That was the idea of honors or high honors. It's to push their mental capacity to a higher level. There needs to be programs for smart, bright kids. And no one should feel bad because they're smart and they're bright. And we got to start holding these fucking failed educators accountable for the shit that they've left behind for these poor kids that need to be led correctly. The T of the talk is, if you have a person that doesn't understand basic educating, then they probably shouldn't be an educator. Because it's never going to be about you. It always needs to be about the kids. That's the responsibility of real teachers and educators. And it seems like to me, it's not about these kids. It's about their feelings, the educators, and the school systems. and not the kids that they're teaching. If you can't read at a grade level, there's a problem. And if the parents don't know that, that is another problem too. We're not paying attention to things that are going to have consequences later. And the idea that we're not instilling success into children at an early age means that we're instilling victimry and failure into them at an early age instead. When I have kids, whether that's this year or next year or whatever it's going to be, hopefully sooner than later, from a very early age, my children are going to learn the love of reading. And they're going to learn the passion of words and letters and colors and drawing. And I'm going to push them. And they're going to private Catholic school. Because there's no fucking way in hell I'm letting them go to public school after I became a teacher in it. No. They're going to be pushed for success from a very young age. And my expectations are going to be extremely high for them. And they're going to surpass them. Because they're going to be my kids. And there's nothing that they're not going to be able to do. It's up to us as parents and educators to instill that in them from 1 year old to 20 years old, right? Because that's what was instilled in me. I loved learning when I was a kid. I loved reading. I read fucking Harry Potter when it came out so quickly, dude. Like, I loved reading. It was a passion of mine. It was a way for me to escape, like, reality and go into a book and make it become reality. And I remember when my dad got me the Harry Potter collection, how excited I was. I remember all the books I ever read as like a teenager or like a kid. And I remember the excitement of touching it and looking at it and all of that. That's what we need to give kids. That passion for reading and learning. The drive and the will to understand things that maybe you don't necessarily comprehend 100%, but you want to learn about it. That's why more people should want to learn how to play chess. Well, not chess. Yes, I was right. Chess. That's why more people should want to understand vocabulary at a different level. That's why we need to make higher learning a necessity in the world. So our children can be the lights of tomorrow. So they can see that in themselves. That's why I wanted to become a teacher. So I could light up every little child's mind for them to see just how amazing that they are. And I think for whatever time I spent teaching, that's exactly what I did. And that's all I'm ever going to remember. I was the teacher that I wanted to be. And no one's ever going to take that from me. And that's what I'm going to instill in my children and my nephews and my nieces. My nephew Carter just turned 11. He loves reading. That gives us something to talk about. I like when he could tell me about the book he's reading and tell me about why he likes the book. That's what we should be instilling in every child in the world, that conversation. The next part of our conversation, outside of the fact that some children need more help than others, bad decisions lead to bad consequences. So, I hear people talk about drugs all the time, and we always leave out the fact that the drugs have a user, the person taking them. When someone dies from a fentanyl overdose, the thought is, oh my God, they died from a fentanyl overdose. And my mind automatically goes to the idea, why were they doing that drug that had fentanyl in it and they died? Is it illogical for me to be thinking that way? Am I just taking away the fact that the person's sad that their family member's dead? Or am I just logically thinking that the person shouldn't have been doing the drugs? I brought this up in another podcast. I was watching Gangs of London, and one of the characters' kids died because they were doing drugs, and they died from a bad batch of cocaine. And I'm thinking, like, why the fuck are you doing cocaine? Like, why? You could, like, drink and do whatever you want. I guess all kids do that when they're getting out. But as you get older, you start to recognize, Why the fuck are you paying for that? Like, you don't really need drugs to be happy. And I just can't help feeling like, why do addicts not get to be held responsible for their addiction? Like, the drugs don't buy themselves. These people that are homeless, that are addicts, that are living this way, they didn't just get to that point. They willingly allowed that to become their lives. And they do need to be held accountable and responsible for it. There is no other person to blame but themselves. And I know that doesn't sound nice, but drugs don't do themselves. Just like when people are like, oh my God, we need to take away people's guns rights. Guns don't shoot themselves either. Knives don't stab people. These things don't happen on their own. And I think that when people do dumb shit, they need real consequences and reality to creep right the fuck in and smack them in the face. That's the tea. Let's get to the next part of this conversation. ThredUp and same day delivery are pretty fucking cool, because who wants to deal with going in the stores in 2026? No, thank you. Sounds like a fucking nightmare to me. I don't know how many times I've complained about the reactions that you get when you're in the store by people that are there to just make your life hell because they just want you to leave. And being that I worked at Target and I worked in retail in college and after it, I can't help feeling like I'm a customer and you're supposed to be paying me more attention than your fucking phone and your coworker that's bagging some shit. So I'm not really sure why I get that feeling, but it just has led me to just disliking shopping entirely, where I don't even want to go into a store. And I think malls are just a ripoff and a joke anyway, so I don't go in them. Like, nah, not for me. I think the one thing I got from COVID, outside of the fact that, be careful with these fucking freaky scientists creating weird shit trying to kill us, is that I don't really need shopping anymore. And because I became a brand ambassador during COVID, I get all this shit sent to me and I get to try it on and decide what I like and what I don't like and take pictures of it and post it on Instagram. And because I get all my shit like that, I don't really need to go into a store. Like, why would I do that? I wouldn't do that. That's really what it is. I still have swimsuits that I got a couple of years ago when I was like brand ambassadoring for this swimsuit company. So whenever I want a swimsuit or anything like that, you know where I'm going to go? The company I brand ambassador for. If I want a leather jacket, you know where I'm going to go? The company that sells fucking leather jackets that I'm going to get a discount from because I brand ambassador for it. I'm not going to a store. And like, part of me would normally be thinking, I'm going to go to TJ Maxx. I'm going to go to this. No, I'm not. ThredUp is an option. Poshmark is an option. Real, Metacari. There's so many different options. Why would you do that to yourself? You can get designer on a budget, and not even on a budget. You don't have to spend designer prices for nice ass shit. You can get Hermes. You could get fucking Dior. You can get like Fendi, Ferragamo. You can get Chanel. You can get nice Louis Vuitton. You can get very nice things at decent prices that won't make you completely spend all your fun money, and you can have a good damn time. You can't necessarily do the same thing in a store that you can do online at the things I just said. And ThredUp is really cool. There's this chick that's inquired with me that told me how much she loves ThredUp, and I started checking it out. And I think that's going to be my go-to way I shop now. I already haven't been in stores for like 2+ years because I started buying everything on fucking Poshmark. But I'm really not going back at this point. What am I going back for? On Amazon, if I want something, I get everything delivered in 2 days. Tuesday is my shipping day. And anything outside of that, I get everything delivered in 2 days. So why the fuck would I ever go to a store? For what? Maybe Target, though, because there's a lot of shit I like at Target. But you know what I do at Target? I typically do the pickup thing at Target, and I just pick everything up at the front desk and walk the fuck out the store. I like doing that better in there. Have libraries retain the coolness? No, they haven't. I don't think anybody's checking for libraries. Do we need overpriced gyms? No. You could just get a Peloton at a cheaper price than going to the gym for a year, right? Spending $60 a month on Anytime Fitness is idiotic, and my job has a discount with Wellness Hub or Well Hub or some shit, and I'm going to use that and decide how I want to do a gym. And I almost fell back in the trap of thinking, I want to go to Anytime Fitness. I don't really know if I have time to go to gyms, so I was complaining about gyms last week, and I'm going to do it now. Do you need an overpriced gym that costs $60 or something dollars? I have this friend, Gina, who said she spent all this money on some gym. I think she was like $70. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you spending $70 on the gym? And she's like, it's a discount because it has all this stuff in it. And I'm like, you're the perfect person for them to sucker up to buy that shit. Because you're not looking at what you're actually getting for the stupid ass gym membership. I don't know. Sweatpants and chill is the only vibe I'm going for, which it matches directly up with another fun part of Netflix and chill. As for meals of the week, we had tacos on Sunday, tacos on Monday, pasta on Tuesday, and we're having pizza tonight. Deep dish Chicago white with ricotta, extra cheese, pineapples, pepperoni, and I think bacon or chicken or some shit like that. It's gonna be fire, and we're gonna like it. And I'm adding the hot sauce on mine because you know I'm spicy. It's coming from a real Italian place because that's the only way to eat real pizza is real Italian. Or, I mean, it could be Italiano or it could be Greek. Those are my favorite two types of pasta. Primarily Italian. That's going to be delicious. And we're ordering a house salad with it. Best $50 I'm going to spend of the week right there. Let's go. But I found these recipes that might be cool. Sweet and sour chicken fried rice. Asian cabbage salad. I don't know about this. Maybe I try it. Smashed potato pizza. So you basically take a mashed potato and you like smash it. And then you put all the toppings that would go on a pizza on the potato. And you put it in the oven and you let it cook off for like 15 minutes. Then you take it out and you add more cheese. And you put it back in for like 5. You take it out. Boom. Delicious. Greek bean salad. So everything that would go into like a regular salad, like a Greek salad, you just add beans into it. And you do like olive oil and vinegar. And I'm telling you, delicious. Creamy Asian chicken salad. Asian pesto noodles. This all sounds really good. Moving on from eating to watching Netflix and chill. So we started watching Department Q on Sunday. Very good. We also watched Cabin 10. Very good. There's also so many other great shit on Netflix. Netflix is about to buy Warner Brother. And I told my husband I think Netflix would be a better deal for Warner Brother than Paramount. Because Netflix has been around far longer than Paramount. But we'll see what happens. I love Netflix. I've loved Netflix forever. And there's so much on there. I don't even know, if you have Netflix, I don't even know if you need any other streamer. Because literally there's so much shit on Netflix. I don't even know why you need another streamer. Now, we're talking about me here. I like to consume a lot of shit. So for me, I need every streamer. But I am a stream fanatic. I like to watch something on my phone while I'm watching something on the telly. Then I like to have another telly, and I like to use my iPad to have something on there. Then in another room, I like to have another telly with another device. So I'm multi-device, multi-telly girl, right? I like that. That means I'm an avid watcher. I'm a viewer. I like having multiple things. I'm watching 10 shows a week here, man. And I'm not trying to act like I'm not doing that, because I am. But I will say this. Netflix is awesome. And why people tell me they cancel Netflix, I'll never understand. Like, this one dude, Jonathan, was like, I'm canceling my Netflix because I don't like how much it costs. So what the fuck are you going to watch? YouTube? Okay. Blue Ridge, Pretty Hard Cases, Hidden Assets, Starlet Academy, My Life is Murder. Ooh, that sounds good. Still watching Love Island. I still haven't finished the Love Island from 2021, and I'll get to it at some point. I'm slower than fuck. Hockey, please. So we've been watching hockey like every night. Unfortunately, my Maple Leafs lost, and then the Rangers lost, and then my husband's favorite team, Avalanche. Babe, did Avalanche win?
Did what?
Did Avalanche win?
Yeah, I think they won 4-1.
Fuck, so they did win. Good. My husband loves Avalanche, so I think we're going to be moving to Colorado at some point. That's definitely probably going to end up happening. He is an Avalanche fan. I like Maple Leafs and the Rangers. Those are like my fave too, but I'm starting to like Avalanche too. Literally, if he could dress up in Avalanche like gear, he would totally do it. He is totally a dude. There's this cute baby at the game that we kept saying hi to. So much fun. I love hockey. Hockey's like my favorite sport. I actually do think I like hockey better than I like football. And my second favorite is definitely soccer. I'm more of a hockey soccer girl, honestly, and I like golf too. And I also like tennis. But hockey is definitely very entertaining to watch. Anyways, my friends, thank you for tuning in to this Monday edition of Born to Be a Star. Please don't forget that you are a star wherever you are. Brothers and sisters, you, me, us, they, and them. Not only are we going to save America, but every other country around it and the galaxy around that. We are the beginning, the middle, and the end, omnipresent, just like Jesus Christ. Been here before and seen it before. Everything before. The one thing that defeats the darkness is the light, and we are that light. I see the light in you, and I hope that you see the light in me too. There's nothing we can't do together. Hello, goodbye, good morning, good night, and ciao. Remember, you're a star wherever you are. See you guys tomorrow on Tuesday. Good night, and good morning, and good afternoon, and ciao.